What is going on, everybody? It's Chris here from Friendly Frenzy Games, and we obviously have a brand new game called WrestleQuest for you today. I personally have been super excited, looking forward to this one ever since I heard about it. Honestly, I'm not even sure how or when I heard about it, but as soon as I saw it, I wish-listed it on Steam because it combines a couple of things that I love: wrestling, RPG games, obviously a very cool kind of 2D pixelated style here, so looking forward to this one. Couple of things about this game. Obviously, it's released a couple of weeks later than it was supposed to. Initially, it was supposed to release on August 8th, so 2 weeks ago, but I guess the devs held it back just for some game-breaking bugs that they wanted to fix last minute due to corrupted saves. But a little background for us here: we were very heavily influenced as young kids, kind of growing up in the Attitude, Ruthless Aggression era. We were kind of raised on games like WCW versus NWO Revenge, WWF WrestleMania 2000, WWF No Mercy, all of those classic N64 games, kind of transitioning then to like PS2, PS3, Smackdown, Know Your Role, Here Comes the Pain, all that good stuff. And then we've played a little bit of the 2K games, but they just kind of very similar to the EA Sports games with NHL. All got to be kind of very much the same, small graphical improvements, but not really a whole lot to kind of keep us coming back. What we found we really enjoyed the most about those games is when they would kind of kick it back to the roots and do like an Attitude era kind of campaign progression or whatever. But again, super excited to hop back into this one. It's been so long since I've played a wrestling game. This is going to kind of closely mimic our series or almost playstyle of our tape-to-tape kind of series there as well. Obviously, that was a hockey game that was very, very different than any hockey games that were kind of existing in its time. So, again, super excited to hop into this one here. It has continued because this game did have a demo. It looks like it just lets you pick up its progress. I'm not quite sure why. The demo didn't really get you involved in a whole lot of things. It did just kind of introduce you to the gameplay and some of the fight mechanics, but we're going to go through for the purposes of this, just in case anything did change from the demo to the actual release. We're going to just start a new game. We'll overwrite all of our previous save info, but as I said, I'm pretty sure the demo is still out. If you wanted to have a quick try, pop onto Steam, see if you can pick it up, give it a quick try before you buy it. It does have an introductory offer right now at 10% off. There's a couple of differences between this and, say, a tape-to-tape style. So tape-to-tape was obviously a roguelite hockey game with kind of some added humor, very arcadey play style. This one here is definitely more RPG mechanics as opposed to a roguelite. We didn't really you don't get a sense of the RPG elements so much in the demo. But hopefully I'm going to be able to bring you guys some of that today. We're going to, like I said, play right through from the beginning here. And it's going to be kind of a mixture of a playthrough, walkthrough, a little bit of review. We'll chat about some of the things that we're experiencing and kind of compare it to other games, kind of when and where we can. But super excited to hop into this one, guys. Bust it out. This series is going to give me a reason to kind of bust out all my old school wrestling Austin t-shirts. So super excited to be able to do that. So we're going to start right here. Podcast chorus. Welcome to the toy room, where every action figure, toy miniature, and plushie dreams of wrestling greatness. I should also mention, too, that this game actually gives you full controller support, so this might be the first game that we've covered that is going to let us use. We're using an Xbox controller for this. Not sure what the experience is going to be like compared to keyboard. I will say, just to kind of preface this video, we did use keyboard and mouse for the demo. Honestly, controls and stuff were fine. Can't really complain there. I've seen it is getting mixed reviews right now. The game in general is getting currently mixed reviews on Steam. Some people are having keybind issues and a bunch of other things, but honestly, though, I'm so excited for this game. So I'm hoping that this doesn't turn out to be a disappointment, but gonna give as much of a full and honest kind of open review, initial reaction as much as we can here. So just really excited to be able to kind of play through this with you guys here. Obviously, we can see some legends are making an introduction in this game early. DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, of some WCW and then later WWE glory, to the wintry lands of the Great North. Obviously, the main cover figure in this game being the Macho Man Randy Savage. We have Jeff Jarrett here coming up in dialogue. So every toy lives, breathes, and craves wrestling, practicing their slams and paying homage to the legends that came before them. I will say that one of the things that kind of took me out of this game a little early is just all of the dialogue. And I know it's a classic RPG element, especially with Japanese elements, or Japanese kind of RPG elements. It's a lot of text to pull you through the story as opposed to voiceover, but there is a lot of text in this game. So bear with me. I'll read it out to you guys just so there's a little bit of voiceover to it and you don't necessarily have to read everything, but we'll see how we go here and see if this is something that we continue for every episode. But Conrad Thompson, so many tales of creativity and imagination have sprung from the toy room, and many fabled battles have taken place here, both in and out of the ring. One such tale, and its many battles, both of plastic and of the heart, is about to begin. And a quest of this size takes not one hero, but two. Speaking of quests, though, obviously one of the elements of the RPG game in here, so that's going to be awesome. I don't know how the skills and stats and stuff really play into it. The demo does introduce you to having some stats and stuff, so that's going to be really fun to experiment with. And I will say, too, especially because we are big proponents of achievements on this channel, the game comes with like 122 achievements, so something to keep you busy if you really are looking for a time sink and really enjoy the game. It's going to be super fun. I am personally looking forward to 100% completing this game, so I'm really, really hoping that this one doesn't fall short. There we go. We got our pixelated Randy Savage here. Let's go. Let's go. Making his ring entrance. Very cool. Very good music so far for this style game. Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh yeah. We're here to see the cream rise to the top. So if you want to find me, don't look sideways, don't look behind you, just look up. Stone Age Cotton. No way, Macho Man. Forfeit the match and give that championship belt to its rightful owner, me. Listen, Lizard, you gotta earn this belt with your madness in the ring. It belongs only to the best. Yeah. That's why I'll be the champ for a long time. Dig it? 10,000 years as world champion. Oh yeah. Are those shades a little too dark? Can't you see I have this place rigged to blow? Explosives don't scare me, you stitched up cotton ball. You can't win by cheating. You always think you are such a hero, don't you, Macho Man? You can't win when the deck is stacked against you this bad. And that's the bottom thread because Stone Age said so. Haha, my guy. I didn't actually put all this together, but Stone Age Cotton, I guess that's supposed to be their version of Stone Cold. Either way, I appreciate the little comedic humor in that. That's funny. That's funny. Can't win, Stone Age. You are just a grain of sand in the desert of macho madness. Oh yeah. That's funny. That's cool. So one of the things, obviously, you can see about this game, again, very similar to games like Tape to Tape. It's more of like an arcadey kind of humorous take on the genre. Very clearly, this is already way different than any wrestling game you might have played previously. Definitely different than a 2K or any wrestling game currently out there. I do know that this has turn-based kind of action, combat, all that, and it's very kind of button sequence to do, obviously. But there are a bunch of different like skills. I know in the demo you play as this like moose dude, and he's got like a hockey stick, and he can like hit hockey pucks as like a signature move almost. So it's going to be really interesting to explore kind of how far the game takes elements like that. But we have young Randy Santos here. Wow, wow, wow. Did you guys see that? Peanuts. Forget it, Randy. We'll never get tickets this late. Clark. Come on, we can wrestle outside. We can still wrestle outside. I don't remember this from the demo. Maybe it's just been a little while since I've played the demo. The demo has been out for a few months now. I honestly don't really remember this so much. But maybe. Maybe. Randy Santos. Because I know this is who we end up playing through like the demo. I'm pretty sure this is the guy that we're basically kind of... we're on his journey. We're on his quest to wrestling stardom here. So, young Randy Santos. Oof. Good thing this isn't the plastic mattress. How do the pros do some of those high-flying moves without hurting each other? Are you kidding me? It's all fake, dude. What? Watch your mouth. And that's the thing, too, is like, especially with the written dialogue, you can tell, like, a lot of it's pretty cheesy, but at the same time, I do appreciate those little one-liners that, I mean, in clicking through, obviously, you would have missed, but You really think it's real? Really? Of course it's real. It's about as real as Todd. Todd obviously being this robot here. Hey, counterfeit toys are still real. Shut up, Todd. And you, Randy. Even if wrestling was real, which it isn't, you'll never be a pro. No kid from our town could ever be. You couldn't be more wrong. Wrestling is real, and I'll be its greatest champion ever. Oh, see. I guess that's Spanish for oh, yeah. That's cool. Ah, yes. So Randy Santos. So obviously this is the same guy that we were, but he's no longer a kid now. He's an amateur wrestler by the looks of it. This is, okay, I remember this from the demo, so this must just be, I guess I just didn't remember that very early part, but, ah yes, this new outfit feels estupendo. But I better get out to the main part of the gym. Mr. Stretch wants me to train the new students. The radar in the bottom of the corner will help you stay on course. Icons will appear here for quest objectives, shops, and healing. When in doubt, look here to keep slamming in the right direction. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we can see, obviously, we have like a little mini map down here. I don't remember. I don't think you can do anything with these gym bags. There's lockers and stuff. I don't know what you do with them. You can open them. Okay. It looks like you can only open things that are facing you. I would imagine. I guess just some you can't get to. So I don't know what that actually, what those lockers are actually about, but. Okay, so we'll follow this along here. Movement's pretty smooth. Controller, everything feels okay. Obviously, I'm just walking right now, but we got Johnny Stretch here. There you are, Randy. Get in the ring and show these greenhorns the ropes. You got it, Mr. Stretch. So this is obviously our fighting, training fundamentals here. All right, rookies, you want to learn how to wrestle? You want to discover how to win the crowd's loyalty and hear their cheers? Shake the very foundation of the universe? You want to become a coiled spring of excitement? The most electrifying thing the world of wrestling has ever seen? Spear Chan. Man, this is downright poetic. And you are in the right place, muchachos. Take some notes and soak it in. So again, very, very text heavy. Obviously, this is still like a kind of pre-game. Basically, it's your tutorial at this point, but prologue, I guess. On your turn, you can strike, taunt, use an item, or use a gimmick. Let's practice our strikes first. Okay, so obviously the A button here is our strike, and we are using the Brutal Hands strike on our opponent here. Whenever you strike, you can earn some extra damage if you are able to match the button prompts. Try it now. So obviously this game is going to operate on a bunch of quick time sequences, I would imagine. I don't know 100% if there's reversals in this game like many other wrestling games, but I do know that it's very reliant on quick time sequences. So if that's not your style, this game might not be, but we'll see. So all you have to do is just before that clears, obviously hit A or hit whatever, you know, kind of command prompt you're using. Nice job. So we now have like a perk where we have reduced damage dealt. Now I don't know why that is, because I thought we were increasing our damage with the strike, but maybe I misinterpreted that. Most attacks have a chance to send your opponent to the ropes. Try it, amigo. Maybe reduced damage is because the opponent didn't actually get the quick time sequence. I'm not quite sure, but okay. So we're using Brutal Hands again. After knocking them into the ropes, you'll have a chance for a follow-up attack. Do it now. So this one's obviously a double quick time event, so that's cool. You're going to get pretty good at timing in this game, which, I mean, I feel like is kind of at the core of wrestling games in general, especially those kind of fundamentally rooted on needing to reverse. Especially those games, I don't remember which Smackdown games it was, where they had different, like, strike reversals versus grapple reversals, then they had finisher reversals, so you're going to have to get pretty good at timing in this game, but again, it's quick time events, so they're not super challenging. Nicely done. Check out your hype meter down at the bottom. This is a measure of how pumped up the crowd is in your favor. You can raise the hype meter by mixing up your attacks and nailing button prompts. Okay. Okay. Hype up the crowd for extra damage and even to enable some powerful moves. One way you can build hype is by using the taunt option. This will generate hype equal to 2 plus your influence. All that grandstanding will leave you vulnerable though, and you'll take an extra 25% damage for 1 round. Try taunting now. Okay, so taunting is going to help us build hype, which ultimately is going to unlock our more powerful moves, which is really cool. But when you taunt, obviously you're leaving yourself open to attack, and we are susceptible to damage for, you know, 1 round, as they said. Taunting is risky, but it can help you build hype quickly. Beware though, if the hype meter dips in your enemy's favor, they'll gain extra power instead. So maybe that's why we're reducing damage, not quite sure. Speaking of extra power, let's try out a gimmick. These are special abilities and wrestling moves. So this is our X menu here. So we have a couple of different ones, obviously. There's a couple of different attack powers associated with this. It looks like they're only going to let us use this one. Makes sense, though, because this next one here is preparing for a tag team. Okay, so south of the border stunner, grab an enemy and show them some spice. Deals damage to 1 target. Okay. So this is still apparently Brutal Hands. Or maybe, oh, Brutal Hands must be the name of... it must be, that's cool. Must be the, whoop, I missed that. It must be the name of the opponent is Brutal Hands. That makes sense. Such power, such strength, such machismo. I don't know. I don't know what that is. Spear Chan, wow. Suave Stefan. What happens if you fail the prompt after knocking an enemy into the ropes? Randy Santos. Then the enemy will use that momentum against you, so you better nail it. Is the only way of beating an opponent to make them lose all their HP? No. In fact, most other wrestlers you face will have to be pinned. Observe. Okay. So now we're going to unlock that pin prompt too, which was in the gimmick, I'm pretty sure. See how this guy looks weak and ready to drop? We call this state fatigue. You can fatigue an enemy by bringing them to low HP. Some abilities have or may also fatigue enemies as a debuff. So that's cool. So there's buffs and debuffs in this game, obviously. Send him to the mat with a strike. So obviously our A button here. Gonna need to time this. So we've dropped Brutal Hands to the mat. Now this enemy is fallen. When your opponent is on the mat like this, he is ready to be put into submission. The pin option will be available in the gimmick menu. So I think the pin option is only available when they are in a down state. Obviously, you're not going to be able to pin them while they are standing, or you shouldn't be able to anyways, unless it's one of those classic schoolboys, but I always hated those. The pin here, so we can go for the 3 count. Select a hostile unit. Okay, no problem. So we're going to pin him here. We got to remember how pinning works. Okay, so this is basically a little mini game here. So to successfully pin them, you'll have to hit the button when the indicator is in the green zone. Okay. So we have to hit it basically 3 times within 10 seconds here. Boom. Got the 3 count on our guy, Brutal Hands here, and we're going to win our training match. So nice. Now the enemy is down and out. If you fail the pin attempt, your enemy will kick out and recover some hit points. You can always attempt to pin him again after damaging him. Every pin attempt you do will get easier. Okay. Be on your guard, though. Enemy wrestlers can also pin if you get too weak. Once you were pinned, there is no coming back. Also, note that all enemies will need to be pinned, only wrestlers and other tough guys. I don't think I read that right. Doesn't make sense. But obviously, you can already see that the RPG elements are coming into effect here. We've just leveled up twice by kind of completing up to this point through the tutorial, so that's cool. Gonna see hopefully now what leveling gets us. So okay, so we have some stats to place. We're going from level 1 to level 3. Okay, maybe we don't actually place stat points. This is just telling us actually what got upgraded. Okay, so that's interesting. Got a couple of points. We only got 1 additional speed, 1 additional stun, talent. We got an additional 170 almost said horsepower. An additional 170 hit points, so that's really cool. Okay, so it's going to automatically place stat points, at least for right now. Randy Santos, and that covers the basics of wrestling. Strike and slam your opponent, and be sure to hit those button prompts for extra damage. Beat them up enough, and they'll be softened up for a pin. Remember to keep things exciting and interesting to keep the crowd engaged so that you retain control over the hype meter. Okay, perfect. Thanks, Randy. Why don't you lend a hand to the greenhorns around? Okay, when you're done, come see me in the AV room for some lessons with other advanced students. Okay, so that's just for the basics. We can press and hold B to run. What's this all about? Nothing yet. We're not actually doing anything on this guy. Okay, no problem. They're repairing something. I wonder, I don't know if it's just like singles and teams and tag team matches, or if they actually have many battles would include some kind of extra scheme or rules. Let's go. That's going to be so fun. I'm sweet. Oh, I'm so stoked for that. That's going to be sick. For a special match, attaining victory is a matter of playing by the rules for that match. Okay, hell yeah. So there's ladder matches in this game. Let's go. The demo did not make it seem like there was more match types. So I'm very, very excited. Very, very excited to just kind of go back to some of the OGs. The OG matches. OG, like, wrestling stipulations. Johnny Stretch. All right, who here knows the secret to pumping up the crowd? Leonard Alpha does. It's baby oil. Come on, Leonard. How many times do I have to tell you that baby oil is not the answer to everything? You know what? Get out of here. Go do some burpees until you puke. Sir, you can pump up the crowd by showing your spice in the ring. Very good, Randy. But what about before you get in the ring? I'll tell you. You've got to get on the mic and cut a promo so hot it will ignite the crowd and burn your opponent to ash. Okay, so there's promo cutting in this game. How do you do this? Part of it is knowing your enemy, and part of it is being fast on your feet. Time to try. Randy, come on up here. Okay, so we're going to be cutting some promos in the AV room. Johnny Stretch, let's see how you do with a rapid fire session. This guy looks like Albert. It's A-Train right now. Let's see. Randy is, he has a stupid name. Okay, so he just got demoted there. I don't know what all those red arrows were for, but Randy is better than the seismic disappointment or whatever it is you call yourself. Well, we don't really know what he calls himself, I don't think, but Blind Vipera. Randy is so weak, even I can see that he doesn't stand a chance at winning. Okay, so she got positive hype there. That might be true for Snakes and Ladders. Okay. Tappy Flynn. I'm going to crack Candy Santos over here like a sugar cookie. Yeah, it was pretty good, dude. Should be careful. I don't remember what his name was. You should be careful with all that sugar and candy, or you might get diabetes. I'm going to dump this kitty cat here into the litter box. Okay, we got okay, we got 5 hype on that. UCE class. You can generate hype before a big match by flexing on the mic. If you want to see more, I have an old match here on TV between Luchador and Dash Talent, back when Luchador was still part of PAW. Okay. Prior to this bout, Dash had been antagonizing the Benthic Terror with a fishing rod during his matches against other opponents, trying to hook him during a high-flying move. That's kind of funny. All right, you Slam Junkies, get back to work. Except for you, Randy. I have a job for you. What is it, Mr. Stretch? There's a guy from the Boxwood Extreme Wrestling, the local wrestling league over at Macho Man Statue. You know it? Do I ever? Great. This BEW wrestler needs help with his gimmick. You'll know him when you see him. He's kind of between styles. Okay, cool. So we have our first quest called Face Paint and Handshakes. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. So tutorial, we're still doing the tutorial here, obviously, but we have a quest tracker. Check out your current objectives and past accomplishments in the quest tracker. This tool will provide a summary of your quest and provide directions on where to go next. Press right trigger to bring up a UI panel in the overworld as a helpful reminder to what you should be doing. Okay, cool. So we obviously have our quest marker on here on our mini map, and pulling right trigger just shows us what the objective is. Gonna hold B to run so we can get out of here a little quicker. Just kind of booking around. The run doesn't seem much faster, but it at least gives me the illusion that I'm moving fast. We got our exit here, so we're gonna leave our training academy or gym or whatever they are calling it here. Some different camera modes. Okay. But it doesn't really look all that different. You can see, though, it's kind of like Mario looking style map here. Obviously, this is just the map. I don't really know how we actually progress through the game, but known for his consummate physical ability, his savage wrestling style, and his deep, gravely voice, Macho Man Randy Savage is quite possibly the most iconic legend of wrestling. Debatable, but definitely a G. Celebrating 29 title reigns across his 32-year career, Macho Man was not just a celebrated champion, but also a long-standing crowd favorite as well. Whether cutting exciting promos or delivering an incredible and theatrical flying elbow drop, Randy Savage won fans and accolades everywhere he went. Even today, Savage is revered by fans and wrestlers alike, with his story inspiring a generation after generation. It is no secret that only someone like Macho Man can make the entire wrestling world stand up and say, "Oh yeah!" Love it. I wish I could talk like Randy, man. That'd be fun. It would get annoying pretty quickly, but... Okay. Maybe this is our guy here. Neon Gravebird. Hey. I was always more of a fan of guys that wore face paint, although that time Jake the Snake trapped Macho Man in the ropes and attacked him with that Cobra. Would go over big in BEW. So that's awesome. That's a classic factual moment. That did happen. Not in BEW, obviously, but wait, you're the guy I'm here to meet. Okay. I'm from the training gym. I'm here to help. Great. So you can see I can't quite decide which way to go. Should I be vibrant and electrifying or dark and brooding? I think dark and brooding fits BEW better, but I just love using bright colors. I've got to pick something that will fit in with the vibe of the other guys, or the writers won't know how to use me. Ain't that the truth? Writers. Okay, forget it. Look, can you just go to the face paint shop for me? They have some samples I want to try out. Face paint, so the writers will like you. Okay, poor thing, babbling about writers, he must be delusional. Okay, so even still, as obviously Randy Savage, or whatever this guy's name is, our character here, as he's grown up, still doesn't really realize that wrestling's real. If you are watching this and don't know that wrestling's fake, I don't remember how I just said it, but wrestling is fake. I was devastated when I learned that, but it makes total sense, and I am still of the mind that as much as it might be scripted, fake is rather loose. They are still taking a beating out there. I didn't mean to click through that, my bad. Face paint on your feet. What kind of madman would do such a thing? Okay, so we are in some face paint shop here. I don't know if this is going to be applicable to us or if this is really only open for the quest to kind of help this guy out right now, but we'll see. Yo, look at this guy. Wrestle Raider. Take it all. Gather the war paint for our overlords. Okay. They're looting the shop. Here's one. Take him alive and we'll melt him down to use the plastic as war paint. Okay, so we're actually wrestling figurines. Like, I know they had mentioned this a couple of times about action figures and whatever, but it makes a little bit more sense now here. Okay, so this is just our first kind of match that's kind of unguided, I guess. I'm going to start with a strike and see how we do on Wrestle Raider here. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. I thought it was always A, but it's not. Our initial strike knocked him into the ropes, so we at least got that little bit of a rebound attack, but I'm going to strike him again and just see how we do. But you do have to pay attention because these do kind of switch commands. Okay, so I actually had the opportunity there to have a quick time event on him, even though he was attacking me. So we're open. Okay, so we were open to an attack there because he missed his thing. Or because we taunted, and then he missed his follow-up attack, so it gave us a chance to use our momentum against him. You can see up in the top corner there, we have a damage received of plus 25%. So let's try and do a gimmick move while we have this buff here. South of the border stunner. It's going to take 10 attack points. Obviously up in our top corner, we haven't used any yet. We have 60 out of 60. We have still quite a bit of hit points, so let's use our south of the border stunner on this guy. Make sure we hit our quick times. Okay, maybe there just isn't. Maybe it's only for strikes. Okay, but he's pinned. So he's in a fallen state, is what I mean. Now we're going to pin him. We're going to go for the 3 count here. It's going to activate this minigame. Oh, I missed. So as soon as you miss, okay, as soon as you miss once, you are going to lose your pin opportunity there. I don't know what that purple robot thing is, but okay, so he's down again. Let's try and pin him again. It's going to get easier every time we do it. Oh, what am I doing? Okay. Let's try this again. Obviously, he got healed last time for 12 hit points because we missed our pin. There we go. There we go. Okay, so it really wasn't that hard the first time, but I didn't realize that if you missed the if you miss, that it's going to kind of stand him up. It makes total sense. We've obtained a duct tape item. Not sure at this point what that does. Obviously, it looks like we earned some money, 137 coin or gold or whatever this game wants to call it. We haven't used it yet, so I'm not quite sure exactly what that is. And I would imagine the arrows are some sort of experience, so probably 273 experience there. Curious to see what we do with items. I don't know what duct tape would do for us, but yeah, so that has to be experience, those arrows. So we got 273 experience. Another couple hundred off leveling up again to level 4. Randy Santos. I should find the shop owner before these Wasteland Slammers try to melt him down too. Sorry guys, I know my talking's a little bit disjointed. I'm trying to learn this game as well as kind of keep you guys engaged and just talk about what we're learning, kind of what we're thinking as we're going through all this. But a table, there's only one way through one of these. Okay, table spots. A table lock blocks your path. Unlock the table with a table spot token. Once you find one, reapproach the table to throw a wrestler through it. Okay. Table locks and table spot tokens come in 3 varieties: single, double, and flaming, with each table corresponding to the appropriate token. Okay. So we need to, I guess, search the area and find now a table spot token to be able to continue on our progress here. There are like footprints everywhere. There's a chest over here. That's sick. Face to face, 33% treasure found. We got action figure. I didn't read what that was. I was too busy reading everything else. Action figure something. Oh, there's another chest here. Table spot token. Okay, so it looks like there must be 3 treasures in this map here. So one more blue box, I would imagine. And then we can get kind of all the treasures in this area. So that's sweet. We'll have to kind of keep a lookout for that. Oh, just right here. I missed that earlier. I don't know if that was covered by the mini-map or why I didn't see that. Elbow pad. Okay, so we found all of the treasures in this map or in this area. That's really cool. Obviously, we got that table spot token, so that's going to help us clear this pathway. That's awesome. I don't know what we're going to do with duct tape. I don't know what we're going to do with an elbow pad. I don't know if we're going to be able to kind of create our own attire. That'd be really cool. But we'll see. Salesman, somebody help. We're being robbed. All right. I gotta take on one of these guys again. No problem. Okay. Oh, so we haven't actually healed yet. Okay, interesting. We're still operating on the same hit points and attack power. I don't know exactly at what point we kind of re-up all of our stats. I would have thought it was the beginning of every match, but very clearly it's not. I don't know what happens if you, like, die in this game. I don't know if you just fail the match and restart, but... So we have reduced damage dealt. We had the opportunity there. I guess that we must just keep getting that follow-up opportunity because we get knocked into the ropes and they're missing their follow-up opportunity. So if we're quick enough to time our quick time events there, we can kind of get an additional hit on them. I'm going to taunt. I don't know why, actually. We had pretty high hype, so there's probably really no point to do that. We're just going to be a little bit more open to attacks now on this, but... We do have damage received plus 25%. Now, I don't know if that's for us or if that means we just are susceptible to 25% damage. That's probably actually what it means. I'm going to see, though, because we have... I want to cancel this. Because we still have so much attack power, I'm going to just stun this guy. Pay homage to my guy. Stone Cold. It's nice that there's no quick time events for these. Okay, so he got bumped into the... He got bumped into the ropes. He's fatigued, so he didn't... I guess he didn't get damaged enough to, like, go to fallen status. I don't know what's going on here. Damage up. That's fine, but he's not going to get a chance. We should be able to drop him, I would imagine, now. I'm just going to stun him once more. We have full hype, so we're doing well on this guy. We're still getting plus hype for 3. The first time we did this move, it was plus 5, so I would imagine just to kind of... get you out of spamming the same move, they give you less and less hype the more kind of consistently you use that. But obviously he's down right now, so let's pin him. See how we do here. Oh my, I cannot time that. That's so weird. Okay, no problem. So he is actually going to be able to use his damage buff, but I don't know how many fights we're still going to need to do on our attack power and health, so I don't want to, like, use all my attack points right now. So we'll just go through, pin him again, see if I can get him this time. Okay. The pinning really isn't that hard. It's just definitely a feel thing. I'm very surprised that I missed those couple at the very beginning, but okay, so we got our experience there. Still not quite level 4. The salesman is stoked. Buddy, that was amazing. Are you a superhero? Superheroes are fake. I'm a pro wrestler. Hell yeah, dude. Okay, whatever you are, those were some macho moves, muchacho. Yes. Macho moves, muchacho. I like the sound of that. Those blasted wrestler raiders come down here to get supplies for the rituals to worship the road warriors, Hawk and Animal. Nice. Paying respects to those guys too. So those were legit guys back in the day. I wish they could emulate someone more heroic. Yo, Hawk and Animal were awesome, man. I loved those shoulder pads, the face paint back in the day. So sick. Someone more heroic. Anyways, what can I do for you, bud? It's on the house. Amigo, I'm here for a special order. Some samples for an hombre going through an identity crisis. I know the one. Can't decide between goth and surfer. Here they are. Thanks, muchacho. Okay, awesome. So we're going to return now to Noah, or Neon Gravebird, at the Randy Savage statue. Obviously, we have his face paint selections here. We've already gone through and completed this entire area. We've got all the treasures that were available to us. Again, not really sure what that means or what they do. Is this guy going to be able to carry the very best in face paint, or in face makeup, but it doesn't look like your gimmick needs any. Okay, so I guess we're not going to be able to use face paint. I think that would have been really awesome, man, if we could have used some of these. I don't know what the point of having a store like that is, unless it's purely just for the quest, but it's pretty elaborate. We're going to go see our boy right here. Okay, here, I hope these help in your quest in BEW. Thanks. Say, what do you think I should choose? Gotta go with the surfer style. You'll stand out more and suits a true hero. Go goth, amigo. You'll be intimidating and mysterious. Fans will love it. Yeah, you gotta love a good heel. We're going goth for my guy, Neon Gravebird here. Thanks, I'll consider that. If you need me, I'll be over here practicing some catchphrases. Okay, cool. Now we gotta go see Johnny Stretch back at the gym. Okay, no problem. Let's go on through here. Back at the gym. Nice and close. Kind of stroll. The Get Stretched Pro Wrestling Gym. Alright. Hey Randy, how'd the job go? I appreciate you doing it. It should strengthen our gym's relationship with BEW. It was unexpectedly enlightening, sir. Yeah, Boxwood Extreme Wrestling is a trip. They really push for an intense vibe. With all the barbed wire and edgy characters and all. But it's what you gotta do. Oh, I guess BEW is supposed to be like ECW? I don't know. But it's what you gotta do if you want to compete with the top dogs like PAW. Plush and action figure wrestling. Okay. I mean, enlightened about myself, sir. Okay. It's always great to learn more about ourselves and strive to become better. That's enough for one day. Are you closing up again tonight? You bet, sir. Thanks, Randy. It's dedication like that will take you far. So we've completed our first quest. Face paint and handshakes is off the books here. Obviously, we got little Randy Santos here praying. Please help Mr. Stretch's new students, and please help that poor BEW wrestler regain his senses. Amen. What a great day, Macho Man. I feel like I learned so much. I'm convinced now more than ever that we must live out our wrestling spirit and that the world needs heroes. Good night, Macho Man Randy Savage. Macho Muchacho. Jokes. You're here already. The sun hasn't even put the moon down for a 3 count yet. Always good to get an early start, sir. I guess he doesn't realize that I'm just sleeping in the back, but is that a sleeping... Okay. Is that a sleeping bag coming out of your locker? Doesn't matter. Listen, I've got a surprise for everyone. Head over to the ring when you're ready. Well, we're ready. Can't really do much else in this game until we keep progressing through the tutorial, so I'm definitely excited to see kind of how deep this game goes, because obviously right now it's very kind of directed, very linear. Stoked to see what kind of options there are for like customization, really, if there is any, but really kind of what these points, what the money, like what we're able to do with all of this stuff that we're collecting, these treasures and all that. So alright, class, stop the flex and turn your necks. We've got a special lesson for you. Randy, get in the ring. Alright. As much as I remember playing through the demo, I don't remember I remember kind of where it ended, but I don't remember like the in-between parts. Today we'll be learning about the managers. Okay, awesome. Managers act as an ancillary party member that provides all sorts of benefits like new gimmicks. Open the gimmick menu. Alright. Scroll to the right to see your manager gimmicks. Okay, so right now we're on obviously our character tab here. Tag team we don't have, triple tag team we don't have, but manager we do have. So we have a power heckle for our manager. All right, use my power heckle gimmick now. Okay. So our manager Stretch is power heckling Brutal Hands here. Cool little skill effects though. Obviously he got just debuffed now with a weaken, so I'm imagining that's a damage increase for us. Pretty cool, huh? Manager gimmicks will cost attack power just like your regular gimmicks. They may also have other requirements. These gimmicks can be used by any member of your stable, so they can complement your existing abilities by filling in skill gaps. Okay, that's cool. For instance, if you don't have any healing abilities, use a manager who does. That is sick. So it's almost like a party kind of group turn-based combat RPG. Very, very cool. All right. Johnny Stretch. Most managers will also have passive skills that provide bonuses to all members of your stable. They are versatile and powerful components to your stable, so choose them wisely. Sir, you kept mentioning our stable. Do you mean that sometimes we won't have to wrestle alone? Of course not. You may find other Slam Junkies that you can call friend or even brother or sister. We'll talk more about that in today's advanced lesson. Head to the AV room when you're ready. Okay, cool. So I remember this. I'm pretty sure this is when we get introduced to our Moose partner. And you'll see kind of what I'm talking about in terms of like skills and stuff. Obviously not a very realistic wrestling move, but that's kind of where it has like influences. Not obviously tape to tape as an influence, but just kind of going out there and really kind of doing something out of the box in terms of moves. But so Johnny Stretch here is saying, so class, yesterday we talked about how your skills on the mic can impact the hype meter. Even more important than that is what kind of hype type you choose. Who knows what a hype type is? Okay, interesting. Leonard knows. I do. It's a type of baby. If you say baby oil, I will choke slam you. Okay, it's how you generate hype, sir. Bingo. I think a visual aid will help demonstrate this. This is a classic paw training video I scored from a flea market last month. Okay. So obviously we have some pretty obscure opponents here. Welcome to Paw's official hype training video. This is Green Gene. Nice, cool. So obviously a play on Mean Gene Okerlund. Doesn't really look anything like him, I guess, except for like he's half bald. But that's really cool too. I love the little subtleties and just, again, paying homage, paying respect to some of the greats from before. That's really cool. And there are many exciting personalities and styles in the world of pro wrestling, which we'll cover today. Each of these generates hype with different actions. For example, the powerhouse type, which Big Daddy Squeeze uses, builds up the crowd by dealing damage. That's sick. Jock's ass. That's cool. So those with the showman type, like the magnificent dash talent, generate hype by taunting and flaunting. Okay, so that makes sense. Obviously, you're going to want to choose a hype type that's kind of associated with how you like to play the game. For us, we like to do damage. I don't really care so much for taunting, although I can see the merit of doing that. I don't know if that's going to be my primary kind of stance on this, but we'll see. We'll see how we go. We'll see how the rest of the game kind of develops, but right now I think I want to like go with a powerhouse, but we'll see. Sidekicks like jock-offs elicit cheers whenever they support another unit. So, I mean, your healers or whatever, if you are a support class, I say class, if you're a support style wrestler kind of thing, you would want that. Willy or Wily technicians pump up the crowd with their keen wrestling ability, which often inflicts status effects. Allow the ominous Grim Jim to demonstrate. So this is almost like an AoE kind of damage over time by the sounds of it. But never underestimate underdogs like the Luchador, because the crowd loves it when they come back against the odds. I don't know how difficult this game is going to get. If this game gets pretty hard, then something like that would be pretty beneficial. But I mean, if we're always kind of like in the lead in a fight, I don't know why that would be all that good. But you're free to choose a hype type for any of your characters. Experiment to find the ones that suit your style or strategy. So I love games where they really kind of hone in on you picking a strategy. I love that. I love that so much. So again, they have gone through, there's pros and cons for each one of these. I'm actually very surprised that there's 2 cons for all but 2 of them. So the ones that don't have 2 cons, Technician, so the one con is that normal attacks deal 15% less damage. That is also the con for Underdog. But pros for Technician, so nailing button presses during combat generates 3, I don't know what INF hype is. Pinning an enemy generates hype. Inflicting a debuff generates hype. Dealing bonus elemental damage generates hype. So we are going to be busting out elemental damage in a wrestling game. Yes, I am stoked. Pros for the Underdog: acting while under fatigue or a debuff generates hype. Acting while a friendly unit is KO generates hype. Stopping an opponent from pinning you generates hype. Okay, well, I can't imagine like sitting there wanting to get pinned. So Powerhouse, what do we have? So all gimmicks cost an additional 10% attack power. Really, I don't know how much that's really going to come into play. Obviously, our stunner is 10 attack power, so that means it's going to cost 11 instead. Not a big deal. Damage reduction is reduced by 10%. I don't know why if we have Powerhouse, you would figure we're like one of the bigger dudes that our damage reduction, we should have more. I don't know why that would be a con, a realistic con anyways, but attacking generates 1 hype, defeating but not pinning an enemy generates 5 hype. Okay, getting a critical hit generates 10 hype. Okay, interesting. Okay, very, very interesting. No specific wrestling style. This unit will still generate hype from standard actions. No cons, no real pros. Okay, so attacks and stuff are good. We get 1 additional hype. Critical hit, I don't know how we get a critical hit. Defeating an enemy generates hype. Okay, we'll have to see how that works. I'm gonna do Powerhouse just because I think that's gonna play my style that's going to probably play most of my style. Honestly, maybe Sidekick will too. It depends though. Like, we haven't really come across how heals and stuff work in this game yet, so I don't know. Maybe we'll end up using heals and stuff more. But for right now, just for like the very basis of this episode and kind of getting introduced to the game, I would imagine you can switch your style later. But we're going to go Powerhouse for now. We're going to equip that, confirm it. Okay, apparently that's confirmed. Okay, so that's enough for now. Don't forget your essay on the poetics of pile drivers are due Monday. Okay, cool. Hey, did you guys hear? Paw is supposed to put on a dark match over in Boxwood. Dude, no way. That's incredible. Yeah, and from what I hear, it's going to be an open event. Anyone can take part. Here's the catch. Since the event is in Boxwood, you know that BEW is going to try to get their guy into it. If BEW will be selecting a fighter, they'd have to choose their championship title holder, right? All we have to do is become the BEW champion. Then they'd have to pick us. What makes you think you can become the BEW champion? All I have to do is defeat the current champion, right? Yeah, but BEW would have to work you into the storyline, and you'd have to get over more than the current champion. Look, hombre, all I need to do is beat the current BEW champion. Then I get to be in the Paw Dark match and maybe even earn a spot in Paw. That's not much of a plan. My plan is no plan. I'm the human torpedo. Watch out, Boxwood. Here I come. So obviously this guy's still not grasping that there's storylines. Obviously you would never be able to just walk into a #1 kind of main. You would never walk in as like a #1 contender for a major title especially, but I don't know, man. He's pretty sincere. You can tell he lives and breathes this stuff. He needs to grow up. That's not how the world works. It's true. I think his authenticity, his hope is inspiring, attractive even. Maybe a dose of reality in Boxwood will open his eyes. Maybe. Okay, I promise I won't fail you. Talking to my guy, Macho, in the poster here. Hey, Randy, I'm locking up for the day. See you Monday? Actually, Mr. Stretch, do you have a minute? What's on your mind? Sir, I'm ready. Ready to enter the world of professional wrestling. Pause putting on a dark match over in Boxwood. I plan to become the BEW champion and enter the match for a shot at the big time. I've even got my gimmick picked out. From now on, I will be the Spice himself, the south of the border savage, Muchacho Man. Okay. That's quite the impressive shtick, Muchacho Man, but it takes more than a gimmick to win in the world of professional wrestling. You've got the skills and the heart, kid, but you may not have the wisdom to navigate the tempestuous world of professional wrestling, not without losing your soul. My soul? The world of pro wrestling is full of larger-than-life heroes and terrible villains. I'm not afraid, Senior Stretch. and my mind is already made up. I have to do this. I know it is, kid, and I know there's no stopping you, so you have my blessing, but take heed. This world has a way of stomping on goodness, so be prepared to fight. But keep slamming, and greatness can be yours. Okay. So we're all stoked. We're going to be getting out of tutorial, I would imagine now. Starting a new quest here, a wrestling quest begins. So this should be really the start of the story. I still know there was a little bit more to the demo. I just don't know exactly where the tutorial technically ends. We're going to go here to Cream Macho Man statue. I do know that they walk you through like the basics of like a tag fight, so that's really cool. I really like the art style of this. Obviously, you can tell here, like these guys are all action figures. You can tell by like the bolts and stuff in their arm, but I do really like the art style of this game. Okay, so we're still on this podcast here. Keep slamming and greatness can be yours. With these words, Muchacho Man enters the world. But can he find his way without losing his soul? We turn now to another hero looking at the same fate-fixed stars, contemplating his own path. Brink Logan. Fireworks, that's the cue. Show must be about to begin. Okay, Stag Logan. Hey, there you are. I should have known you'd be here. You're so predictable. Brink Logan. I like to think of it as being reliable. Yeah, speaking of being reliable, do you think we could go over the script again real quick? You didn't read it, did you? Come on, dude. You know I've been busy with that Hockey 94 tournament. You're such a hoser sometimes, Stag. Next time you're going to tell me you didn't practice on our walk either. Or our walk-on either. Come on, we've got a little bit of time to get over it. Okay, so walk this way. So all of a sudden we're a new character now. I don't really know if there was much of a transition. Just all of a sudden we have a new party member, but we've never even actually been introduced to who this guy is. We just got an achievement called Hoof Puck. Recruit Stag Logan to your stable. Okay. So we are starting this quest. I'm not even sure actually what this is. This was in the tutorial, or sorry, you can see all of these different kind of wrestling brands, all these wrestling companies here, so that's pretty cool. But again, we weren't even really introduced to who this character is that we are now. Nice little wrestling town here. We're in Pond Fork. But you can see this is the kind of, whatever, deer moose looking dude from before with the hockey stick, so he's got some pretty cool moves. These guys must just be a tag team, obviously. We must do maybe that's how it goes. Like all of our singles wrestling is done with Muchacho Man. We have these guys as our tag team. Not quite sure. We'll have to see how it goes, but hey, check it out. They finished the town sign. Let's go over the east side of town and to the snow globe. So we're going to go to the snow globe, Pond Forks Wrestling, what is it, the arena? Wrestling arena and east part of town. Okay. It's a potato head looking dude. So we have a couple of different icons on our map. It looks like there's, I don't know if that's like a shop or what that is. There's like a medical kind of whatever with the serpents there. But we have obviously our main quest marker here. Glad to see. Glad my shift to the login site is over. Now I'm free to watch the match tonight. Okay, these are just random NPCs, not really adding a whole lot to us yet here, but so we're just focused on doing this match for now. We'll have to figure out what all this other stuff is later, but I want to at least on this episode kind of, again, it was very much just meant to introduce you guys to the game, kind of get reacquainted with the game for myself. I want to get to the point where the demo ends so you guys can kind of have like all of the info that you need. Determine whether or not it's something that you might be interested in picking up. Like I said, though, if the demo is still available and you're even remotely curious, I would definitely recommend you trying it out. It's free. It's not a very big download, so it's worth trying if this looks interesting to you, if you like wrestling, turn-based RPG kind of style games. Again, you don't really get to experiment with a whole lot of the RPG elements, so I'm hoping, obviously, in future episodes that we're going to be able to bring that a little bit more to you, but this really was just to kind of show you a little bit of the game and kind of give an initial review, initial reactions, and just kind of share with you guys what I'm most excited for. But again, I'm going to show you some of these crazy moves that this guy can do. Again, kind of very hokey, but it's cool. I can't wait to see, really, again, I keep saying it, but I can't wait to see how deep this game goes. Obviously, in the demo and at the very beginning of this game, they don't really show you a whole lot. You don't really get introduced to a whole lot, but we're going to set this up here. So Brink Logan, okay, let's hurry. Before they start letting people in, the walk-on is all about impressing the crowd. It's about strutting and flaunting your skills. Before the actual walk-on, you'll be able to choose various elements like an intro, music, passive ongoing effects, and an outro. Intermediate options are actions you'll perform while walking down the ramp. Nail a button press to perform them. Each element of the walk-on can increase your hype for the battle. Let's try it now. Okay, sweet. So I remember this from the demo as well, but I don't remember actually reading through those prompts, and I didn't actually realize what this does. So in this, you're essentially creating, I don't know if this is going to be every time, or if you're basically making one and you're going to come out to this all the time. But essentially what this is doing is you are making your own ring walkout with your teammate. If you can nail the quick time sequences that are going to be involved in this, you're going to build your hype already before stepping into the match, which is obviously super beneficial if you can come out ahead. So let's see what we have here. Right now, I don't know if you can unlock more effects or if they're only going to have 2, but we have either paparazzi for our intro or we can do screen flashing. Obviously, they have a little preview here and they have a little info thing. I like a crowd flash. That's cool. So we're going to go ahead and set that. Now we want to set our outro. We have blue fireworks or red fireworks. I'm a blue guy, so we're going to go ahead and equip that. Passive effects. Okay. So this is just, okay. So it's not like it gives us a passive skill or anything right now. This is literally just something that's going to continuously happen as we are entering, So what do we got? I like rain. Rain's pretty sweet. I mean, I guess music would make sense too, but we're going to go rain for now. That'll be pretty sweet. Okay, so we can have chairs thrown at us as an intermediate effect. I'm not sure what the difference between intermediate and passive is. Maybe just because it happens one time versus passive, it's like a continuous loop. But so we have chairs that can be thrown at us. We have confetti. We have pyro here in either yellow or orange. Okay, that's kind of sick. I'm gonna do yellow. Oh, and we have to set our quick time. Oh, it was only for that one. So we have to set, we're gonna have to, you can set your quick time button. So we're gonna press X at that point to activate to activate our pyro. Oh, that is sick, okay. It doesn't look, okay, so it's not the same for the passive, but it is for the intermediate. So I would imagine if we can land this, we're gonna come out with as much hype as we possibly can. That's really cool. Okay, very cool. So this is just basically, okay, they call it a loadout, but this is the breakdown really of our intro. Hopefully you can unlock some more things later. Obviously you probably can. They have a couple of different passives here that we have really only one assigned to. Same with intermediate effects, but it's going to be really cool kind of building out our intros. That's sweet. Curious to see what this looks like. I remember experimenting with this before, but here we go. We're walking out to music even though we didn't pick music, so I'm not quite sure. It still looks like we have walkout kind of quick times anyways, so I didn't set any of those, so I'm not actually sure. Okay, there's our pyro. I didn't see the screen flash, so okay, easy execution, but I didn't have an X quick time, which I set. I also didn't have the like Goldberg pyro that I wanted either, or like the Kane style pyro that I wanted. So I don't know if that was just like a tutorial to show us actually how it's gonna go, or if that's just to kind of get us acquainted with like what the walkout actually looks like. But thanks for the refresher, cuz we'll have to see if it actually works in a match, because that's obviously not what we had just set up. We have PA Logan here. There they are. How are my boys doing? We are locked and loaded, ready for tonight, Dad. You guys read the script? Tonight, it's the Honest Bucks. That's us versus the Hygge boys or Hidge boys or something. The Hidge boys, Hygges, are enjoying a major push as baby faces right now. Okay, so obviously this is the stable. We're the Honest Bucks. That's cool. We're going to take them out, and then they'll learn, and then they'll do a reversal out of nowhere at the last minute. Okay, so we got to lose tonight again. I hope you boys are okay with that. Of course we are, Dad. We're ready to serve North Country Wrestling. Okay, so very interesting that this game already has a stipulation that you don't need to win the match. You are going to be losing it. Cool. I'm proud of you boys. The family business couldn't run without you. And it actually reminds me, because you do experience this in the demo as well. They have like the bonus objectives and stuff that you have to do to kind of complete this with like, you know, full kind of match experience. So that's really cool. But man, how can you be so cool playing the jobber all the time, eh? It's worth it to help out the family and the promotion. Besides, I don't mind losing when it's scripted. When it comes to a real match, I know I'm the best. We're the best, right, cuz? Exactly. Alright. Alright. We'll see what we got here. Okay. Alright, boys. Showtime. Just come on out when you're ready. Oh, I almost forgot. It would be a beauty if you two could take out Flars first with a 1-2 punch kind of deal. Okay. I could set him up with the wet work, and then Stag could finish him off with his antler bomb. Perfect. That'll make Lars look even more heroic when he does his comeback. I'll let the Heige boys know the update. Okay, finally, some instructions I understand. So with this one, we basically need to make the match look believable. We're going to be basically beating these guys up. We basically have to focus on one dude, that specific guy, and this will all be outlined in the match, but that's essentially what it's saying there is we're going to be focusing on taking one guy out, and then they're going to come back and win the match. But we already have all of this already pre-set up. This is what we had set up before. So it looks like it is the same thing every time, which is good, but you can obviously choose to set it. But this should be our actual entrance now, I'm assuming. There we go. There's our pyro. Hell yeah. We got our rain. We got our pyro. We hit all of our quick time events right now. I would imagine those 3 separate ones because obviously we had like none, pyro, and then none. Once we can fill those out, maybe I could have actually picked all 3. I don't know. I thought I had to pick one per. I'll have to look at that actually. Lars, this is who we have to face tonight. You two don't stand a chance against the Heige boys. Okay, you can see these guys are all decked out in sweaters. Obviously, we're in like some winter place, so Heige boys, by the looks of you, we thought we'd change your name to the Hungry Boys. I recognize our sweater. I saw your mom knitting it this morning after I left. That's funny. Okay, we got perfect hype on that. Generate a total of 20 hype through pre-match smack talk. Okay, so we got perfect hype with that selection there, obviously talking about the Hungry Boys. The only reason I chose that is because they look like bigger dudes, probably have eaten something, but I really liked about the mother knitting a sweater before we left. Enough talk, honest bucks. I've got a steamy cup of hot chocolate waiting for me, and I don't want it to get cold. Ja. Let's make this a quick one, brother. All right, tutorial. Dramatic moments. Dramatic moments are special criteria that appear during boss battles. So these guys are boss, also during pivotal confrontations. Complete them to get special gear after the fight. Many times these are optional, but sometimes they are necessary to complete the match. So I'm not sure what special gear we're going to get. Reward received. We just got a slam shake. No idea what that does. I'm pretty sure that's like a healer or it gives us a damage boost. But obviously throughout the tutorial, we haven't been using any items yet. You can see on the left side there, we have dramatic moments that are mandatory. So we have to fatigue Flars. I'm not sure which one that is, but we'll see. We have to fatigue him, basically. So not down him, but we just have to basically stun him enough that he's fatigued. So we'll start right now with a strike. That's, okay, so there's Lars in the back here. Flars is the one in, like, the beige and white sweater. So we'll start on him. Again, the biggest thing is really just making sure that you're landing your quick time sequences here. I'm assuming that we can probably double team. Yeah, we can. We can double team him. You can see that we're messing around with our hockey stick here, doing some damage. It's not just a base punch. These guys are doing a cozy bomb to us already. Our moose deer guy's getting mucked up. Mr. Stag. All right. Oh, I missed that. I was too busy paying attention. I don't know what the orange hype meter is or what the money floating above that is. I don't know if hype is in our favor or if it's in theirs at this point, but let's try and fatigue him again. Okay. Back to back. All right. I think we'll taunt with this guy just because. Okay, so that is building our hype still. Okay, so they're doing Cozy Bomb again. I feel like, I don't know if that red was they lost attack points or if that was hype. It was -4 something. Okay, so I didn't have any opportunity there for a quick strike, but we can use a gimmick. Let's do wet work. Low blow headshot deals high damage and a chance to cause fatigue. Oh, I should have been doing that a while ago. Wet work, here we go. Boom. So he's fatigued. Nice. Got him all shocked. Now we have, okay, so we've completed that first objective. Now we have use Stag's Antler Bomb on Flars. So that's going to be under gimmicks here. We have obviously our Antler Bomb, which is 12 attack power. We are targeted on Flars. So we're going to get an additional 2 hype here. Here's our Antler Bomb, which is essentially just a power bomb with our antlers. Boom, back into the ropes. So you know, as soon as you bounce off the ropes there, you're going to have the opportunity to do your own quick time sequence, which is really cool. Now we have to attempt to pin Lars, but let him kick out. So let's do this here. Let's give him a pin on Flars, but we need to let him kick out. Let's see if we can do a 2 count. I don't know if that really matters. Did that let him kick out? Okay. I guess that doesn't count as a kick out because we just purposely failed the pin, so that's good to know. I'm going to now, we'll do this slap shot spread. This is the one that I was talking about with the puck damage. So that's pretty cool. All of a sudden you can do like basically a double knockout there. Whoop, wrong button. Screwed that up. Okay. So we're gonna try this pin again now. Go for the 3 count. I'm still gonna try and do, like, I don't know if you get like bonus points to make it more dramatic. We'll make it a 2 count and then we'll just let it time out at this point and see. I thought that just by failing the pin that would count as like an attempt. I lost experience. Attempt to pin Lars, but let him kick out. I don't get it. I don't know what, I don't know how we let him kick out from that. Maybe I actually have to go through with pinning him and he's gonna automatically kick out. We'll try that this time. Because I've purposely failed to pin the first time. The second time I went to a 2 count and just let the time lapse. So this time we're just gonna pin him and they can decide whether or not he kicks out. But what confused me though is the fact that we had to let him kick out by the way they worded that, so. Let an enemy kick out twice before. Okay, we got an achievement for that. Oh, you know what I've been screwing up this whole time? Attempt to pin Lars, but let him kick out. That was Flars. Oh my. Okay, the names are too similar. That's my bad, guys. Wow, I should have paid a bit more attention there. Wow. That is my bad. Okay, the names were too similar. That really screwed me up, but this is going to be even more dramatic then. They wanted to fight? Perfect. Okay, so I would imagine that's probably why it didn't actually work. We're getting all of these achievements and stuff. I don't know what we just got. There was a gun there. That happened too quickly. Let's see what we got here. Let's use some attack power. Patch job. Oh, that's like a heal. It's just simple business. Snipe all 3 button presses for high damage and inflicting demotivated. All right, let's try this. See what this looks like. We have a quick time for 3 buttons here. These quick times can happen pretty quick. He's demotivated. We're gonna pin him now. Pin him, Stag. Okay, we're gonna let him kick out. I'm gonna do a dramatic 2. Do a dramatic 2 count. 2. And we'll just fail it. There we go. Okay. Okay. So I would imagine he's going to complete his comeback now. Stag, this is it. Remember to break your fall. Okay. So we managed to hit all of our dramatic moments. They were mandatory in order to be able to pass the mission anyways, or to be able to complete this quest. So nothing super complicated there. My biggest mess up was attempting to pin Flars instead of Lars. We did get a reward though, so I'm not exactly sure what that like muscle thing is, but Green Gene, oh my goodness, Lars has done it. What a reversal. The high G, I don't know. Boys have won, and we'll continue on to the Snow Slamino. Oh, Snow Slamania. Unbelievable. All right, so we got almost $1,200, which is huge. We have almost 1,000 experience. We got items obtained, winter guns. No idea what any of this is going to do. Obviously, we leveled our guys up here quite a bit. So they are both level 3 now. So our kind of passive attributes or passive stats are going to be kind of permanently upgraded here. That's awesome. We learned a new gimmick called Power Play for Stag. Brink is going to get upgraded as well. He learned Power Play in Jewel Smasher. Okay. Dude, you were awesome as always. So clean, so precise. It's no wonder why they call you the expert of execution. Isn't that Bret Hart? Ha, more like the expert of excretion. Wouldn't you say, Flowers? Jaw, something certainly smelled tonight, and it wasn't my hot chocolate. You Matt Lickers sure do have a way of ruining a good mood, don't you? A good mood? Why would losing put you in a good mood? Because we did our job, Wolfer Brains. All that matters is how well we play our parts. Oh, I don't know. Winning is pretty important, right, Flowers? Not that you two would know. Good point. Maybe one day we'll be talented enough that someone can hand us a scripted victory too. Ho ho ho! You don't think we could beat you for real? Do you doubt the girth of our coziness? Anytime the High Boys want to shoot, just say the word and we'll show you what real wrestling is like. Okay.
All right, boy.
Great job in there, you Slam Junkies. The crowd loved it. This will be our best Snow Slamania yet. Jaw, especially when the High Boys win it all. Come on, Flowers. Looks like they're already kind of putting a story into this. Like, we are going to be winning at Snow Slamania, I guess. Brink, Stag, you guys never cease to amaze me. You're the backbone of this organization, maybe even the whole sport. Nice. Man, for being the backbone, it sure does feel like we get... All right, that's enough. Let's go hit the hay, which in your case may be literal. That's a misconception. Moose sleep on leaves. Okay, that's funny. Go home. It's at the top part of town. Iron sights. Get 1 critical hit. Okay. I did not realize a critical hit there. I'm very curious to see like what we do with all of these parts. And this may be the end of where the demo is because I don't ever remember going to this dude's house, but we'll see. Obviously, there's some treasure scattered around Pond Fork here. It says 0% collected, so I would imagine you just kind of have to do your due diligence and pop into these buildings and stuff, but I can worry about that later. Want to just kind of see what... This is my house? Holy. Logan's house. This guy is rich, bro. So I have treasures in here, too. Like, I would be much more apt to, like, look for these things, find these things, when I actually know what we do with them. I'm going to just do a quick scan through the kitchen here. Definitely a different art style, though. Like, you can tell. Oh, can you actually, like, open all this stuff? Just the fridge. Weird. I don't know if you're supposed to be able to do stuff with this. Or if that's... Doesn't look like it. Okay. No problem. What do we actually have to do in here? Yeah, I don't think this is part of the demo, so... Well, just quickly, those High Boys really get to me. Such baby faces in the ring. They're total jag-offs out of it. Okay. At least with this, like, the kind of text-based voiceovers, some of the language or like some of the like actual script is pretty corny, but some of it's actually kind of funny. Someday. I just know that if I put my time in, pay my dues, and earn my stripes, greatness will come my way, and when it does, I'll put it in a submission leg lock. Okay, so this guy is following basically a parallel story to our guy Muchacho here. We have to go to the Boxwood Gym. Yo, Junkyard Dog, did you guys see that? That was awesome. Quest completed, a wrestling quest begins. Boxwood, a rough town, but wrestling is popular here. Should find a place to stay while I fight to become the BEW championship holder. I am ready. Something spicy is going to happen here. I can just feel it. Okay. So we just made it into Boxwood, guys. I'm going to call it the end of this episode because I do want to get it out for you guys to enjoy, especially if you're really considering purchasing this game. I think it's really important to kind of have as much information as you can have. So quick kind of summary review based on everything we've played. I know it's not going to be like a whole bunch of insights here, as there are a lot of RPG elements that we haven't really been able to explore yet. Again, if I was to suggest anything, it would definitely be pick up the demo if it's still available. It should be on Steam. You're going to get to play up to where we did in this. If you like the feel of the game, if you like the idea, you like the art, you like the concept of the game, definitely recommend giving it a try before you pick it up. I know, obviously, this game has been subject to a bunch of mixed reviews already so early. Obviously, again, it was supposed to be out 2 weeks ago, but the devs kind of took control of the whole situation with buggy saves and kind of pushed everything out 2 weeks to just make sure that it was kind of in tip-top shape to actually release. Me personally, loving the feel of the game. I'm really, really excited, again, to see how deep it goes, really what the level of customization is. Very curious to see what we do with all of these items, what we're able to do with coin. I'm very, very excited to just kind of play through this one. Again, part of it is because it is somewhat nostalgic to me. Another refreshing thing about this game is that it's just so different than any of the actual wrestling games that are out there, especially anything that I would have played recently. Again, kind of growing up on those games like WWF WrestleMania 2000, WWF No Mercy, all of these 2K wrestling games and stuff now. Obviously, there is not another game like this out there, at least that I've seen. Again, too, it kind of flips the script in a way that Tape to Tape did with NHL games that were out there at the time. It's just something so different than your typical 2K or like wrestling games that you might have been used to playing, again, especially recently. So if it looks like it's something interesting to you, if you love wrestling, if you like turn-based combat, that's going to turn off some people. I'll admit, back in the day that would have been too slow paced for me, but I like that there's a little bit more strategy involved in games like this now, and again, I think it kind of plays to an RPG sense pretty interestingly. But again, like, I think the biggest thing is just I'm very excited to kind of work through all of this and really kind of learn the ins and outs of the game, get a little better, get a little bit quicker, learn everybody's moves, obviously, but really become proficient in these quick time sequences. And again, I'm just really excited to kind of learn more about what this game has to offer. Really excited to see what kind of customization it has, especially with all of these RPG elements that it's supposed to have. I'm really hoping that it drives that point home, because Tape to Tape did a pretty good job with like the roguelite elements of it. Again, with this, not quite sure if you fail the match, I would imagine you just go back and restart the match. This is not a roguelite. It is very much role-playing game, Japanese-style RPG, again, with the turn-based combat. But if you guys have any specific questions for us, be more than happy to try and answer them for you. Again, we are playing too. It's got full controller support. It has a lot of Steam achievements, which we are personally excited for. We right now are playing with an Xbox controller. Throughout the demo, we used keyboard and mouse, and that worked phenomenally as well. I felt like there was a little bit of a lag almost between the inputs sometimes, but again, with turn-based, it's not so much an issue. I definitely feel like this was designed for playing controller first. Maybe I'm wrong in that, but it definitely feels a little smoother actually playing with a controller than it did with keyboard and mouse, even though we really didn't come across any issues initially before either. So again, guys, if you spent any bit of time with us today, truly appreciate it. Looking forward already to hopping into the next episode of this. Hope to see you guys back in that one. For now, it's been Chris from Friendly Frenzy Games. Super excited to see you guys in the next episode. If you haven't subscribed already to our Friendly Frenzy Games YouTube channel, please do. Your support really does go a long way. Looking forward to hanging out with you guys more. Playing some more WrestleQuest, as again, we've been so excited since we heard about the release of this game. And now that it's finally out after countless number of delays, 1, 2, I don't even know. But I'm so excited to be able to continue picking this one up, walking you guys through it, doing a little bit of a playthrough, gameplay review. We're going to constantly chat about kind of what we're experiencing, what we're learning, what we're feeling as we play these games. So hopefully you're able to either learn something from it or take something from it, be entertained, engaged, educated, whatever it is. So hope to see you guys again. Take care, everybody, and have a great day.